All right, so this is a demo of the PolyVideoSync app that is designed to help sync live performances of music with specific videos. In the past, when conductors have done this, they've had to usually follow a click track and make sure that they adjust their speeds to match what the video wants. And the whole point of this app is that the video speeds up and slows down just a little bit to match what the ensemble is doing. So we're going to see the score show up here on the left, and we're going to see the video show up on the right. To open the files, you can either go to the File menu, come down to Open, or click Load Files. I'm going to start from scratch here as if we haven't done any of this before. And I'm going to open the movie file and the PDF of the score. There is support for many different kinds of video files. And we'll see that over here we have the score, over here we have the animation. So right now we have the two different elements, but there's nothing really connecting them together. So what we need to do is find a way to say when the downbeat happens, the video should be at this point. And when you get to rehearsal A, that the video should be at this point. So to do that, we're going to use what are called sync points. I'm going to move the playhead back to 0, 0, and I'm in adding editing mode. And I'm going to come over here and click a sync point back at the beginning before the first downbeat. And then I'm going to click play on the playhead, on the video. When I hear the first sound, the downbeat from the conductor, I'm going to click another point right above it. And then I'm going to wait for the second measure, and the third measure, and the fourth measure, and see what happens. Doesn't matter if it's not quite precise. Because I'll show you in a second how we can go back and edit those, really fine-tune those sync point locations. That one was way too early. And what's nice about this app is that it will make adjustments based on what your conductor wants to do. So if they really want to milk that retardando, no problem. I'm a little bit off here because I'm trying to multitask. And I'll just stop right there. All right, so I'm going to pause the video. Now we've created some of these sync points, but they're not precise. So what I'm going to do is come back and click on the sync point. When you do that, the video will jump automatically to that point and begin playback. So I can listen to hear if I actually was in the right place with that downbeat. If I wanted to, I could come in and try to type in a specific time. But instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the arrow keys on the keyboard to nudge this a little bit to the left. About right there. I'm going to then hit the right arrow to move to the next sync point, and I'm going to listen for that first line in the alto sax where they hit that quarter note. It's not quite right, but... And so you can go through the whole score, put in as many or as few of these sync points as you need. If it's a piece if it's a march that doesn't change tempo, no big deal. You probably don't need so many of these. But for a piece like this that has a lot of push and pull, maybe you'll want to add a good bit more. If you're doing an animation that has lightning bolts synced up with bass drum hits, you can be very careful there and really fine-tune it so that everything's lined up perfectly. There are a couple little housekeeping things that you can do also. This little button will help align the sync points so that it's visually precise. And then once you've put in all these points, you can come here and export this file. It'll ask you where you want to save it as this .json file. And you export it, and then you load that next time, and you've already done the work, so it's all ready to sync. So what I'm going to do now is import this JSON file that I had created previously, which is much more accurate than those simple ones I did. We'll see that these all get replaced. I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to zoom in. Oops, it's still in editing mode. Well, here's a good thing to show you. If you need to delete a point, there's a little button right there. It'll pop up the confirmation. Yes, I want to delete that sync point and renumber the points that are come after that. So I'm going to pause that because the sync points are set for the rest of the piece now. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit on the score because my eyes are bad and I want to be able to see the score well. Okay, so when you are ready to use this app in a live setting, whether it be a rehearsal or a concert, you're going to need to have somebody sitting down in front of the computer with the app up, with the score up, the video up, and the JSON file loaded. They'll either use AirPlay or pop out the window and pull it onto an external display. And they're going to click the Start Syncing button. They're also going to want to make sure that they mute the original audio because we don't want to hear that. We want to hear the live performance. Now, I don't have a live concert band here in my living room, so I'm going to use this YouTube recording from the West Point band playing this piece. Their tempo is a good bit slower in this first part than the original audio. So we should see the video speed being a good bit less for a while. By the time they get over here to rehearsal A, things pick back up and the video speed should kind of line up. So all the key points in the animation line up with the key hits in the music. So I'm going to click Start Syncing. The video is going to begin playing and the first sync point over here will be triggered. When the downbeat happens, I'm going to hit the space bar, or you could tap over here, and that will tell the app that we're here, and it will calculate how long it thinks it's going to take to get there, and then it adjusts the playback speed to match. So for example, here we go. I'm going to start syncing this. I had checked a little bit before. There were about 6 seconds of silence over here, so I'm going to start this about now. But otherwise, you just watch the conductor, and when I hear the music, I'm going to start. So see the video speed is lower than it had been. Notice that it automatically scrolls the page to keep the next trigger point about right here. Oops, I think I missed that. Video speed's matching pretty well. And you'd continue like that throughout the whole video. Oops, I missed it. So if you're in a rehearsal and you don't want to start at the beginning and go through all the way, you can just click on whatever thing. So when you start at rehearsal C, the conductor says that, okay, maybe you start the animation there, or you just wait for the downbeat, wait for the conductor to start there, and it should jump to that point automatically. Of course, the YouTube video doesn't change simultaneously, but you can pick up from there. And that is the basic functionality of this app. I've used it a few times in live performances and it worked great. I hope that you find it useful too. If you have any questions or comments, please visit polyphony.org and send a message. We'd love to make this app as useful for you as it can be. Thanks.